What's up, beautiful people? This is Fearfully Fit Podcast, and my goal for you is to develop a healthy mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to be sharing with you an in-depth look into how I lost over 100 pounds and had a total life transformation. I want you to be fit in all aspects of your life because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Fearfully Fit Podcast. I am your host, Summer Walker, and we have guest Carl Dennis, my BF. Say what's up to the people.
How you doing, people?
So obviously we are in quarantine because of big RONA, so that's why we're not doing this in person with each other. And also, I'll call you something else. Carl has the RONA, so we definitely right now it's not good to be hanging out, even though he thinks that he got it from me, which I don't know, who knows. So we're in separate places right now. So I'm going to start this out. I said a previous episode that I was going to start the episodes with a weight loss tip, and my weight loss tip is to pay very close attention to your alcohol consumption, because right now we're all in quarantine. People are drinking a lot more than what they usually do, and that is a ton of empty calories. And you can very easily, because you could be thinking like, okay, I'm still eating right, I'm still working out, why am I still gaining weight? And that could 100% be a factor. So just be conscious of that, because maybe that's not something that you were thinking about because it's liquid, so you didn't think it would affect your weight loss or your health in any type of way. But not only is drinking too much just not good for your health, but it's definitely detrimental to weight loss. So just be very conscious of how much you're consuming. Okay? So then now we're going to do a would you rather question, loosen us up a little bit. Would you rather, Carl, be quarantined with a baby? I'm going to say terrible twos, with a 2-year-old baby, toddler, or
That's brutal.
or an ex.
I mean, that's the same thing. That sounds like.
What? The same thing? Like they're both terrible?
Yeah, they're both terrible twos and annoying. It's kind of awkward. I mean, I take that back. It's not awkward. That's easy. The baby.
The baby? Why? Because all your past relationships suck?
Yeah, you my current girlfriend.
Hey. But not even talking about in respect to you and I relationship, just out of pure just annoyance, right? Just say I was, for whatever reason, I'm cool. Or just say I'm not a factor, right? You just had to choose 2-year-old or ex. You would still go with the 2-year-old if I'm not a factor.
I think so. I feel like the baby would eventually sleep. So I think we can get past all of that, and plus the baby only wants like food, and I'll just give it something to play with.
Terrible twos? You haven't been around no terrible twos in a while, because they don't want just food. They're just annoying and cranky. I would choose, oh gosh, technically you could stay in I'm gonna make it harder for myself to say if I couldn't just stay in my room, like I was the one taking care of the terrible two child for whatever reason, like I don't know, I'm babysitting or something, or an ex. One of my exes, we're still cool. I mean, we don't talk, we're still cool, so it wouldn't be like terrible to quarantine with him, but I wouldn't want to just say like you're not a factor. I still wouldn't want to just like you're in closed spaces and then like I don't want you thinking something about to happen or rekindling old stuff.
Nothing better to happen. All right, let's get that clear right here.
Well, I'm just saying, okay? If we're talking about, I'm just saying. To child as well. I'll be so annoyed, but whatever. I would do the terrible two child because I've been delivered from my exes, so we're not going back.
Okay.
Amen. All right, you guys. So let's get this episode started. Um, so Carl thinks he got the Rona from me. I was sick for about a week. I had some of the symptoms of the Rona, but they were very mild, which it's affecting everybody differently. So it could be very likely that I had it, and I just had a very mild case of it. You saw me right before I got sick, right?
I saw you right exactly when you got sick, and then I remember you were saying you had, aches. That's the one thing I
Yes.
remember vividly. And I want to say close to a week later, I started noticing symptoms. The very first being my eyes, weirdly enough, they were just sore. I couldn't look left, right, up, down. It was just
Wait, let
sore.
me ask you the question. So what were your
But
what were your symptoms? What was your well, we already know what are symptoms of COVID, but what was your particular experience? Because mine, like I said, was very mild. I had body aches, very sluggish, tired. I had a really bad headache. I felt like I had a fever, but it was mild. Like I didn't take my temperature, but mine only, my symptoms only lasted for a little bit. So okay, so what was your experience?
so all of that, I'll try to go in order. It started, like I said, with the eye pain, and then just general body soreness. Maybe my legs, arms, back, neck, just little pains, chills. I was waiting for the fever to kick in at some point, and eventually that did. Around a week later, uh, I noticed, my body temperature just generally warmer, and I didn't even need to touch myself. I could just kind of feel it. I just felt warm. I felt just achy. I was getting headaches early on. My balance was off. I couldn't really stand. What
Dad, boo,
else
you was
happened?
going through it. You wasn't
It
eating.
was it was it was rough. Sweat. Yeah, no appetite. Just nothing. Like I didn't want anything. Granted, I was drinking, keep myself hydrated with water and juice and whatnot, but I didn't want anything. But I forced myself to eat just because I just knew I needed to, just for some type of energy, which I didn't have. So I ate my little cup noodles, shrimp, chicken. I would try to eat like cereal, and then at some point, my uncle dropped off some supplies, vitamin C, the gummies, and then he gave me this like direction to make this concoction of lime, lemon, ginger, and cayenne pepper. In retrospect, I don't believe it did anything. It felt like it was doing something, just how strong it was, but I don't think it did anything at all. It was, like I said, pretty strong, spicy, hot. And then eventually, your pops gave me some pills, these like little circular pills. I don't know what they were.
They were, I think they were zinc pills.
So it was that, and he instructed me to drink tonic water, which has something called, I believe it's quinine, Quinine. And
Yeah.
apparently that does something for your immune system. And I can say out of everything, I do feel that did help me overall. I really don't know what helped me, honestly, because to this day I'm still coughing, but 95% less than I was originally. So I believe what he gave me suppressed the cough a little bit as far as the strength of the cough and the frequency. But now it's gotten to the point where I'm coughing a handful of times a day now. So I think I'm towards the tail end for sure. But I've been coughing no lie for 2 weeks. I've never coughed this much in my life. So I know something is definitely up in that end. But energy wise, I'm 99.9%. I'm doing work, I'm moving around, jogging, doing all of that.
You going outside jogging?
Well, jogging in my little space.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, don't be out here infecting other people. Um,
Nah, for sure. I'm taking it super seriously. I mean, I went to get tested actually. I'll tell a quick story about that. I happen to be near an urgent care, and I know that they do testing, and I was curious to know. I mean, I knew I had it, but I guess I needed some sort of confirmation, or if nothing else, a paper trail. But more than anything, I really wanted to know if I could provide like, like that antibody, like donate blood for people to, help fight the virus. So,
that's
and at
the
the end of the day,
thing. We're doing that.
yeah,
Like,
people donating blood to you know people that have survived the virus, so that they could provide antibodies for anyone else going through it, or anyone else that may go through it. So that is a thing right now. I don't. truly know how effective it is because it's pretty early and everything. But it makes sense. I mean, if you fought it, you likely have the antibodies. You likely have the thing in your immune system to help fight it.
Okay. I didn't even know that we were doing that.
Yeah. So I got tested. I walked in. It was a bunch of these, medical workers. They had me wait for like 10 minutes outside because they don't want people inside. And it just happened to be freezing cold and raining that day. So I had to wait outside, like just cold, shivering, coughing because, I was already messed up at the time. They took my temperature and the first reading was like 94, 95 degrees, which is not good. So I think it either just wasn't working or maybe they didn't know what they were doing. I don't know. But the second reading eventually said 99 degrees, which is fairly normal. Then they tested me. Um, they put like a swab in your nose. They do it through your nose. One of the ladies, she caught an attitude because I was there. She's like, you don't, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. This, you could risk getting other people sick, which I get. I understand it. But what else am I supposed to do? I've been coughing for a week at the time. I know something's up. And at the end of the day, I'm looking for education, just maybe something I can be doing or taking. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
my
it just,
dad, for those who don't know, my dad is an RN and he was saying that hospital, like there's no specific medication that they're giving for the virus in and of itself. But people like they're scared. Like I get it 100% that the nurses right now, all healthcare providers, they're very overwhelmed. But at the same time, like people are scared. Like they're not thinking, um, okay, they're not giving medication, let me just stay home. Like all they hear is that people are dying. So of course their first thought is like, I need to get to the hospital. Even, I guess like some people need to go just so they can like maybe get, if they still have to work, to get tested so that they don't have to come into work. But other people are just really scared. So I get both aspects, like the nurses, they're very overwhelmed and they're getting annoyed and angry, but at the same time, like the people are scared. So
yeah, and much respect and appreciation to those working out there, the medical professionals, nurses, doctors, and everybody. I for sure don't want to put them at risk. And I do my best. And anytime I even think of going outside, I'm putting on my gloves and mask and whatnot, keeping my distance. And, they tell you, which is common sense at this point, is kind of useless information, but they was like, just stay home, avoid people, which I was like, I've been doing that for like 2 weeks already. Trust me, I understand. But I went in that day, just wanted to get tested and see what happens. And they say it takes like 7 days to get results. And I actually got mine in like a day and a half. So that was pretty cool. I've heard horror stories of people just dying before they get the results in or just getting them very, very late, like week or so later. So I was pretty fortunate.
thank God you're alive and you're healing. Dad, he tested positive as well. And it was so crazy. His job had asked him, like I previously said, he's an RN, and his job had asked him 2 days of him not having a fever if he could come back to work. And I was like, that's crazy. I'm like, only 2 days. I said, what if you go and you still infecting people? And he's like, they're so desperate for people. It's so sad. That's why I still can't believe like states are opening back up, but whatever. That's
Yeah, I don't think that's a
a
smart move.
conversation.
I don't think that's a smart move. I could tell that the moment it hit, I'm like, man, this is going to be months and months and on end. And then actually going through it myself, I'm like, for sure, do not risk. It's not worth it. Whatever people try to do, sports, concerts, it's not worth it right now. Like this is real
Mhm.
serious. Um, you know, I think it took me getting the whole disease and to understand how it is really deadly for people with poor immune systems, particularly the elderly, I guess the young, everyone in between. Everyone in between. If your system is off, you know, I can't tell everyone specifically what to do, but there's just common sense things like you probably shouldn't be smoking, particularly cigarettes. Probably shouldn't be drinking. Probably shouldn't have high blood pressure. Probably shouldn't have high sugar, high salt, sodium, and all of that. Do what you can to keep your system in check. Take your immune supplements and whatnot. Be safe right now. It's really not a game. It's really not a joke.
I will definitely say this whole experience, I believe, will change us forever. I think that we're 100% going to be more cautious and aware of our health. Definitely me just washing my hands and stuff like that, being aware of me touching my face, like just little things like that. We're just going to be so much more cautious. Yeah,
Hmm.
sharing your experience. And right quick, shout out to my sweatshirt. Cute.
Use.
Shout out to Syracuse University. Your girl just finished with her master's degree. Woo, woo.
Applaud that woman. Applaud that woman. Proud of
That
you.
is good, y'all. I'm so excited to be done. And it's also it was a little like, even though I am on the inside, I'm just super excited to be done and moving on. Um, I can't even like apply for jobs and stuff like that because no one is doing, at least the jobs in that field would be doing interviews right now because everything going on. So it's like it's kind of at a standstill. But so I can see how a lot of graduates would feel discouraged. At the same time, just like you can use this space to continue to work on your craft. So my master's is in PR management, and there's like a ton of stuff personally I can do to work on that. There's a ton of stuff I can be researching, strategic plans and different other successful PR campaigns and different things like that. In the meantime, don't always look at the situation so negative. Just think about what you can get from this experience. Take as much juice as you can from this crazy situation right now. That's all you can do. A lot of people, there was like a ton of memes saying to if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new trade, you're not a lame. They didn't say that, but just basically saying like you better be coming out of this with the new trade. And I don't necessarily think you need to be pushing yourself to start a business or something like that. If God didn't put that in you to do, but I will say definitely be using this time to just work on some things that you've been putting on the back burner, or just working on your craft, whatever that may be. I went and got my guitar back from Carl's house because I'm about to be playing. Listen, I had the guitar on my vision board like 3 years ago. I bought it. I was teaching myself, fell off. Then Carl started teaching me. I fell off. I'm like, yo, I'm in quarantine. I can't go nowhere. I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. Like, I'm going to have a start. I'm not playing.
Respect.
Opened it since I got it from Carl's house, but I'm not playing. So we don't have nothing deep to talk about tonight. I'm working on being consistent with my podcast episodes. I've been slacking on that. I've been really focused in this quarantine on my fitness and health. I've really been making sure. It's killing me that I cannot lift heavy weights. I hate it. They're sold out everywhere. And then the ones that they have, it's like insanely expensive on Amazon. So I've really just been focusing on not gaining like 1,000,000 pounds. But I'm trying to get back in the groove, making sure I'm releasing podcast episodes weekly. I'm going to really, 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 really work on that. So if you're listening and I haven't put it out and I miss a week of a podcast episodes, hit me up and be like, yo, what are you doing? Like, I'm holding you accountable. I thought, where's the episode at? And I promise I won't be mad. Like, I need the accountability 100%. And also definitely, I'll say, shout out to my Christians out there who having all this downtime. Listen, we've been having some lustful things been arising. That's been an issue. Even though we were already practicing celibacy before Rona, it's just amplified because we can't because I'm not seeing you. And so the saying, the distance, the heart, wait, what is it? Distance make the heart
Distance makes the
stronger.
heart grow.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I be rebuking myself daily. That's like, sometimes that's what it takes. My Christians out there, I feel your pain. If you are actively trying to resist from sex, being in this quarantine is not, I mean, for some of us, maybe it's making it easier because you don't have contact to the person, but then it be just consuming our thoughts. So listen, do what you can to stay busy and active. Go for walks daily if you have to. It doesn't, I mean, the streets are empty, so it's not like you need to worry about coming up close to somebody. Go for walks. It's so important. If you're not working out to release to for weight loss, or like for your actual health, mentally, it's such a help. It is such a help. It releases so much strain, especially like sexual strain. I didn't look up any data on that, but it definitely you were so still and quiet. It definitely releases strain just thinking about that. So yeah. So Carl, you're in the, I'm gonna say, media business, and I feel so bad for people who, like, people who do music and sound and touring, and my brother tours for sound, and I feel so bad that like all that stuff is canceled. You like edit videos and stuff like that, but people aren't really making videos right now. So what has been a transition, like as far as for your business, how it was before and how it is now? And how you think it's going to be coming out of this? Like, do you think people are just going to jump back to what they was doing, and you think business is going to go back to normal, or you think it's like going to be low for a long time?
A lot of what I've been doing has been business as usual for the most part, as far as working from my phone and networking with people. For instance, there's something called IMDb, which is a big database for film professionals and video, TV, and things like that. So I just reached out to different people, directors, producers, things like that. Not even thinking about, the present, but thinking more for when, hopefully, if things get back to normal, people do
Mm-hmm.
need different crew members and whatnot. And I figure I just make myself visible, make myself available. As far as music, I still do that kind of here and there because I can work remotely. I don't really need people to be here. But the thing that the thing that has affected me, that I would say, is not being able to book studio time for artists and professionals that are looking for studio time. So that is one thing affecting me. I work with my partner at a film set. We can't have people here um, at the film set. Um, that's the extent of how I've been affected. To answer your question, how I think things how do I think things would go, I guess, in the future. This is definitely going to be a different different landscape, in different ways. For instance, I think people are going to get comfortable or used to working from home, working remotely, using Zoom and things like that. So I feel people are going to be a little more inclined, to think remotely, just whether it's for safety reasons or comfort, or that they've gotten used to the whole work from home environment. I think people are going to become more entrepreneurial in the sense of maybe starting their own sort of business that allows flexibility in that way. Um, but on the other side, I mean, I just know there's plenty of people that just miss their coworkers, miss social interaction, miss being around people. So it could be 50-50. I don't know, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know to what degree like life is going to change. Like, will people stop
Mm-hmm.
shaking hands? Will handshaking stop? Will hugs stop? With regards to like strangers and whatnot. So I don't know if that's going to dramatically change or not, but I do think that there'll be more caution, people dealing and interacting with other people.
I definitely think like our level of intimacy is going to change, like our careless intimacy, handshaking and hugging. No more church hugs. Yeah, I think that's definitely 100% going to shift, at least for a long time. We're just going to be too nervous to be all up in each other's face. Thankfully, with my job, right now I work just stuff with Medicaid. So I am considered an essential worker. So I would have to keep working. It would never be like shut down. But we in our regular work situation, what I do, I would have ton of in-person meetings throughout the month, but we just changed those in-person meetings to on the phone meetings. So I'm good. I honestly, and I also know it's because the job I have right now is not my passion. It pays well and everything. I adore my supervisor, but I stay home. I'm perfectly fine with staying home. I've got a little routine. I just don't like. I'm perfectly fine with never going to the office again. But I do wish I could have a different scene. Like I wish I could go to Starbucks or somewhere else and just like sit down and work. Um, so I do wish that just to have a different scene, but I don't care necessarily about going back to the office.
Yeah, that's the different part about this whole thing, or the interesting part about a lot of this is it's not so much just, like work and stuff like that. It's going to church, going out for a run on a regular, just being stuck in a box for the most part. A lot of people are, and I've heard a lot of stories. Just people really missing being around their friends and things like that. Like you can only go so far with Zoom and phone calls and things like that. But there's only so many TV and films, so much TV and films that you can watch. You eventually want to be stimulated in a different way. You want to go to a bar. You want to go to sports events and music events and things like that. The library, whatever it might be, and we're having that taken away from us at the moment.
Yeah, I think more than anything, the social interaction I miss the most is church. I miss church so much. My church, Christ Pentecostal Temple, shout out to you. We've been doing a great job with our virtual interactions, but there's nothing like that in person, just spiritual atmosphere. I miss that so much. That's probably the social atmosphere that I miss the most. But what are some shows? I'm gonna give you guys some shows to watch. Little Fires Everywhere with starring Kerry Washington. She did bomb. Her teeth acting and all. She was snarling a lot, but she still did super, super good. I'm so proud of her. She did a really good job. It started as a book. I don't know if they're gonna have like a season 2 or not, but it was great. Let me see. Gossip Girl, I rewatched the 6 seasons because there's nothing else to do. That's an old show, but it's still good writing. It's like little kid writing, but it's good writing. And then of course Insecure. How you feeling about Insecure this season? I like it. I noticed it's a lot of sex. Like the sex scenes are long. Like I noticed that. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice so much long, just more random. I feel like like the big dude that he slips with. Like, what's that about? Maybe you could explain. I'm like, what's going on with that?
I just
But
felt like they were really long. I'm like, the show is only 2 seconds as is. I don't want to see like 5 minutes of them having sex in different positions. I mean, it's like funny, but I just rather they fill it up with other stuff because it's already like a really short season.
yeah, I think I like this season better than the last season, but it's not coming close. Nothing's coming close to like the first season, first few seasons. But I'm gonna give it a little more time to pick up steam.
Right, let it pick up some juice. I just watched Too Hot to Handle, which is like a knockoff Love is Blind type of thing. And the whole premise is to try to abstain from physical contact. Um, but the participants are from all over the world, so it's not like necessarily a dating show where they're trying to look them up. They're just trying to, it's like hot, what society I guess would consider hot people, sexy people, and a lot of them claim to in the beginning to be all about just the sex, and then a couple of them end up in relationships and seeking deeper connection, stuff like that. So definitely I know a lot of it is scripted. Definitely it's 100% not as good as Love is Blind. It doesn't have as much depth, but it's something to watch because we're not doing anything else. So it is something to watch.
Hmm.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. I scrolled by it on the menu, but I didn't. It just looked super. I don't know. Like they were trying for the sex appeal part of it. I thought it was that. I thought it was like the whole sex appeal thing, but apparently it's the opposite. But
Well, it is based like that's their appeal, that they're all like supposed to be super sexy. And it was only one black girl on there, so I'm disappointed. Granted, it's like I wouldn't want my black queens to be on a show that's about you're so horny you can't refrain from sex. But at the same time, we always the minority. I think that's about it, guys. This episode was super short, but I really just wanted Carl to say his experience with COVID. I really just wanted to catch up with you guys. My apartment, I just shout out to Clay. I did mad shout outs. Shout out to Clay. I took some pictures of my living room and he helped me redecorate. I'm not going to show you because I'm not done.
what up, Clay?
Yeah, what up, Clay? Uh, when I first moved in, I was so excited. I didn't even take the time to like strategically think how I was going to decorate. I literally just got things that I liked, just a whole bunch of random pieces that I liked, which is not a good idea. Well, I mean, it's not no wrong or right way to decorate how you want, but it just didn't come out looking right. So I moved some things around and I'm excited. I think I might do a little YouTube of my little apartment, like how to decorate a New York apartment. My couch is like way too big, so I definitely messed with that one, but it's okay. That's so good. Thank God for a couch. I hope I didn't look too raggedy with my headpiece.
Are you gorgeous? You should see me sometime.
I look okay.
You look more than that.
Wow, you still like me even though we in quarantine, we haven't seen each other.
Facts.
Wow, I still like you too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is probably the shortest episode I ever had. What is it, like 30 minutes? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know I do have some episodes lined up, some topics lined up, some guests lined up that I think will be interesting and cool. But let me know if you guys have some topics that you want to talk about. It can be deep or it can be frivolous and just fun, something to distract us from what's going on right now. Let me know. Holla at your girl. Leave it in the comments. DM me. Do what you do. Talk back to me. Talk to me nice. Carl, thank you for joining us today and telling us about your tragic experience. But thank God you're alive.
Amen. The honor's all mine. Thank you for having me on again. Stay safe out there. See you sometime in the near future. I'm hoping. I'm praying.
Right. You need to be healed first. Like no cough healed.
It's not a game.
Right. It's not a game. Even if I already had it, I don't care. I don't want to. No new strain coming up. Next thing you know, I done started the new wave. But all right, you guys. Love you. Bye.